Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Banter Fodder Podcast. I'm your host, Drew, joined by my co-hosts Michael Hoover Dam and Jimmy Jim, the Walker Texas Ranger Man. We are back with part 2 of the Fellowship of the Ring. But before we dive into that discussion, let's chat about what we've been watching lately. Jimmy Jam, let's start with you because we already know you're going to have a list of 500 things.
Unfortunately, not 500. My viewing has not been amazing as of late. I watched. I don't think I said this before. I watched Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, the little Netflix 4-part series that you can still log on Letterboxd. Therefore, I shall bring it up. It's fun. It's fun. I like seeing the video game characters on that screen. So.
Is that the one where is like Leon says something about cheese when there's like rats?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's epic.
Cheese. Yeah, it was great.
Oh gosh.
So I watched that. I watched Warfare. That was an intense movie.
Yeah.
Not what I expected. It feels like the third act of like another movie. The whole thing just being like waiting for evac. Just pretty.
Garland.
It's co-directed by.
Okay, yeah. So that's just like last year or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, really good, really intense.
Garland's on a heater, isn't he?
Do what?
Garland's on a heater right now, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
He's all hits. Well, hold on. I haven't seen Men. I know Men is controversial, but I know
I don't think it's bad. There's a lot that I enjoyed about it, but I think it's by far his weakest. And it felt to me, it kind of felt like a COVID movie. So
gotcha.
But it's still like directed beautifully and everything like that. I just you can feel the constraints in some of the filmmaking. And I don't think it goes far enough with certain things. I think it would have been stronger if it did. But
Civil War though.
Civil War, fantastic. Warfare, fantastic. And then coming up next, he's doing Elden Ring.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's gonna be wild.
Dude. I don't even know what to expect with that, but if he nails it, like that is going to be peak vibes.
Yeah.
Because the Lord of the Rings influence is so heavy in that game. Like even
the tree, the giant tree that is like just straight up Silmarillion.
Yep, it's awesome. So
yeah,
fingers crossed.
The only other thing, I'm hoping that's going to be great. The only other thing I watched Marty Supreme. I went back to the theaters, guys.
Congratulations!
It's fantastic. It is genuinely excellent. To me, I kind of hope that Josh changes his style after this because I want Good Time, Uncut Gems, and Marty Supreme to just make up this like anxiety-inducing spiritual trilogy. Because there's so much that links them. They're linked in technical aspects, they're all three just so freaking ferociously paced. It's insane. Like you're like waiting to breathe. They've all got that synth score. They look and move and feel very similar, and they've all got just like exceptional lead performances at the center of them. But yeah, this was so great. I am all aboard the get to me his Oscar train now. I was sold, especially by the end. This movie was incredible. It's so good.
I've personally been sold since Wonka myself, but
yeah. Hey, I love Wonka, actually.
I actually did really like Wonka, but I meant Dune Part 2, of course.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. I really hope I can catch Marty Supreme. I don't know if it's even still in theaters here, but I need to see it. I know it'll be back. It'll definitely be back. If it's gone, it'll be back for Oscar season. But gosh, I hate that I missed it. I caught COVID the week that I was going to see it. Come on, man. Michael, what have you been watching?
I've actually been watching a lot. But the stuff that every cinephile loves. I've been watching MCU greatest hits, basically. That's what I've been doing. So a couple weeks ago, I just randomly felt like watching The Winter Soldier. And I don't remember if we talked about it at last time when we recorded. So I'm saying it now. Winter Soldier is still the best MCU film. It is incredible. I love it on basically every level. After that, I did kind of just start to feel like in the mood to just visit some highlights of the MCU. So I watched the Avengers movie. Actually, my son, he's been watching these like, Spidey and his amazing friends, and then like this Iron Man kid show on Disney Plus. And he wanted to watch the Avengers movie. He asked me, "Daddy, can we watch the Avengers movie?" And I was like, yeah, let's go. I guess. And he was super into it. We watched it, and good Lord, that movie is awesome.
Underrated these days. I think it's
underrated these days. I think it is. I guess it feels in some ways kind of smaller, more quaint. As weird as that sounds, because it was so huge at the time it came out. But we've had Infinity War and Endgame since then, and the stakes have gotten so ridiculous since then. But this movie it set the stage. It set the standard for Avengers movies going forward and team up movies going forward. After that, I watched Age of Ultron, underrated movie. And actually, I feel like that movie really starts a lot of things that really the MCU for the next, I guess, like we're still seeing things that were birthed in that movie, like paying off. It is actually amazing how many things kind of started in that movie. I sometimes forget that. I sometimes forget Vision comes into the MCU in that movie. You know what I mean? Like there's just also Wanda as well. And yeah, I mean, I love the stuff with Clint and his family. That was such a fun surprise. Seeing the Avengers all like as an actual team, like together fighting as a team, and then hanging out at Stark Tower. And like, I loved that party scene where Cap almost picks up Mjolnir. It's so good seeing them like that, because we really don't see that again. And so I love that. Watched Captain America Civil War. It's still incredible. It's honestly, I think it's a top 5 MCU movie still for me. Not quite as good as Winter Soldier, but it's still up there. And then, I watched Black Panther after that. I just decided to keep going with some phase 3. So I watched Black Panther, and I really love it. I do think the third act suffers from what a lot of people will say is the MCU third act CGI fest thing. I think that gets blown out of proportion sometimes, but I think this movie really does suffer from that, and I think it knocks it down a peg. But the first 2 acts are like perfect. I freaking love it. Movie wise, that's what I've been watching. TV wise, I actually started binging this show called it's old. It's from the 90s. It's called Sports Night. It's an Aaron Sorkin show. It's what he did before The West Wing. There's actually some actors from The West Wing in it that pop up randomly. And it's kind of weird. It's like this. It's about think about like the show. He did another show later called Newsroom. Think about that, but not as a drama. It's as a 22-minute kind of sitcom. It does get dramatic, and then there's a laugh track. It doesn't feel like it quite knows what it is. Every time the laugh track happens, I'm like, this is weird. It doesn't feel right. So I hate the laugh track, but actually I've come to love the characters of this show, and I'm like fully invested. There's only 2 seasons, so I know the numbers didn't do very well. So I'm gonna, but I've actually been really enjoying it, and you can really see him kind of, you can see the Sorkinisms starting there, And because there's a lot of stuff that he does writing wise that feels very similar to The West Wing, just not quite on the level. But I think it's going to be a comfort show for me. I really, really love it. It's fun. It's endearing, kind of corny. It's so 90s, but I really do love it. So, but yeah, that's what I've been watching a lot.
A lot of mid-CU. Am I right, fellas? No.
Can't say that about the movies I've been watching, bro.
No, yeah.
You really can't.
They're all
also,
fantastic.
I was going to watch the Return of the King in theaters with a couple of friends, and we had a freaking ice storm here and had to get refund from my tickets. I am insanely bummed about that still, but life goes on.
Unfortunately, it does.
Unfortunately.
So I also had a ticket canceled because of the ice storm. But you know what I did? I was like, I'm going to beat this storm. I'm going to watch the movie the day before. And that's what I did. I watched The Bone Temple 28 years later, The Bone Temple. And I was blown away. I was expecting good things just because there's a lot of good buzz. But I didn't really know what to expect just in terms of the marketing. Like the trailers didn't really reveal a lot, which I think is the best thing that it could have possibly done. And going from Danny Boyle to Nia DaCosta, I was a little worried that, you know, it might feel jarring between the two. And it doesn't at all. I think that it flows perfectly into the Bone Temple. And her direction is really strong here. It's missing just a few of the Danny Boyle-isms, but it still has some of them. So it doesn't feel as jarring. And I think just for what the Bone Temple is doing, I think the way that it's directed and the way that it's edited fits more for what it is. So that's kind of all I'll say, because you want to go into that thing without knowing any spoilers, but it's fantastic. I really need to rewatch part 1 and then rewatch part 2. But like, part of me is like, oh man, the Bone Temple might be a smidge better than 28 years later part 1, because the character work that they do in it is just it's fantastically written. Alex Garland really went all out on this one, and there are several sequences in this that are just I'm like, okay, this is
that's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing that there's some moments where you're like, wow, like there's just everybody I know who's seen this, every review, it's like, it's really great, blah blah blah, and then at some point they wind up to and there's just some scenes that are like, crazy. I'm like, golly,
I can't believe I genuinely can't believe the movie exists. I'll say that it's awesome. Go watch it. And then
watch all of them.
Yes, you do. I think you actually could get into them.
I feel like I would like them. Just what I've seen, I feel like I'd like them.
Days and Years are phenomenal. Yeah. Like Weeks is okay, but those two are phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's also looks like I like them, and I really like Garland in general. So what I've seen so far, so I feel like I will. I've missed them.
Well, it's never too late. But yeah, the only other thing I'll say about the Bone Temple is there's 2 needle drops that are elite needle drops. Some of the best that I've seen in a long while. So yeah, it's fire. Go see it. What did you say?
Immigrant Song.
Yeah, exactly. Love and Thunder.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's Ragnarok.
Yeah, but what song was it that they used for the trailer in Love and Thunder? I think it was another Led Zeppelin song, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Either way, though, Love and Thunder sucks. But you know what doesn't suck? Rewatching Sinners, because that movie freaking rocks.
Dude, Sinners is good.
Speaking of music,
And like
Man.
just two musical scenes that are like blow you away.
yeah, you like
Incredible.
every time. I saw it in theaters twice. I saw it standard, and then I saw it in IMAX. I had to see it a second time, not only because I wanted to, but also because I needed to, because the first theater experience that I had was terrible. I'm pretty sure I like talked about it on one of our pod episodes.
I think you did,
yeah, but it was one of the worst. And both times when you get to that one musical scene that is like the musical scene, chills. Rewatching it on my TV, chills. It's perfect. It's fantastic. Ludwig Göransson, and is it? I think Michael Keaton. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name.
Keaton.
Exactly. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Michael Keaton, his debut acting role, and he's flipping fantastic in it. And he has a phenomenal voice. And like even the way he plays the guitar, peak. The music's just so good. The score is fantastic. It's brilliantly directed. And I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait to see whatever. Why am I blanking on the director's name? Gosh, now I feel terrible.
Oh my gosh, now I'm blanking. I just talked about Black Panther.
Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler.
Gosh, I can't wait to see what he does next. I know he's doing X-Files, and I know Vince Gilligan has been giving him tons of advice because Vince was one of the writers for the original X-Files. So getting that advice, seeing Coogler's direction really shine, I feel like his writing just keeps getting better and better with each film that he makes. And also he's bringing back the same cinematographer from Sinners for the X-Files. And I guarantee Ludwig is going to do the score for that too. There's no way he doesn't, since they are like ride or die. They work on everything together. So
unless he's busy doing other giant movies.
He'll find the time.
Maybe.
Even if he just does like the theme and then gives his
true. Yep.
like protege the rest of the score. But
true.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what they do.
I hope Ludwig wins best score. I think he deserves it. Yeah. So at least from what I've seen this year.
There's a lot of great scores from this year, but he's got to win it. He's got to win it. And then I've watched a little bit of TV here and there. I started Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Wrong. That's not what I was hoping you were going to say.
What do you think I was going to say?
Fringe.
Oh, yeah.
Because I texted you, right? Because I texted you. It's on streaming now. It's actually somewhere you can watch it.
Back. I do need to watch it. But started Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I love it so far. It's getting some hate from some people. It's mostly getting a lot of praise. And George R.R. Martin is on record saying that he thinks Night of the Seven Kingdoms is like his favorite book that he's written. Technically, it's like a collection of short stories with these characters named Dunk and Egg. And it is a very different tone from Game of Thrones, but like also feels Game of Thrones at the same time. So it's a little bit lighter hearted and there's a lot more humor. But it all feels contained within Game of Thrones. And I'm really enjoying it so far. Because I kind of fell off with House of the Dragon. I do need to get back to it and get caught up on it eventually. But to me, like this feels like the quality of Game of Thrones did just in like the filmmaking. The first episode like just looks phenomenal. it looks so like grand scale, even though it's a very like small scale story. Just the way that it's shot looks great, and you can see the production value like really there. So I'm enjoying that so far. I'm not fully caught up. I heard the most recent episode is the best one yet, and one of the highest rated Game of Thrones episodes. So that's cool. And then I've also been slowly making my way through the Next Generation still, and I am 12 episodes into season 4. So I'm getting there. I'm hoping that within the next few months I can start Deep Space Nine, because all right. I do need to start Fringe. But yeah, that's what I've been watching lately. Not a whole lot.
You zipped ahead of me on Star Trek.
Yeah, I did. When I was sick with COVID, I watched a lot, and then also watched a lot with the ice storm. So
he's been recording podcast episodes without you too.
Yeah. I restarted Live Long and Banter without you. But yeah, that's what I've been watching. It seems like we've all been watching some really good stuff, so that's cool. Speaking of really good stuff, it's time to jump back into the Fellowship of the Ring. So in our part 1 episode, we kind of ended where you swap discs for the extended edition. So if you don't remember, we ended like basically right at the end of Rivendell. And so now our heroes are getting ready to go on their journey as the Fellowship, and they start with a bang because we get one of the greatest montages of epic scale with one of the greatest tracks in any score ever, with the montage of them leaving Rivendell and making their way towards Mordor. And gosh, this scene, I rewatched it before recording. I rewatched this scene, and I was just like, dude, it doesn't get better than this. You don't get a fantasy movie better than this, except for maybe The Two Towers and maybe Return of the King.
Or you just hit perfection and you coast along on perfection.
Exactly.
Yeah. Never gets better, but never gets worse either. It's just perfect the whole way.
Yep.
Well, and that theme too, like we obviously hear that theme a lot in the movies, but that is I kind of feel like that is the biggest and most like the most strength it has throughout the whole trilogy. And it's right when they're all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all together. There is this like hope that they're on a mission that it's going to be tough, but there is hope that they can do it as a team. And it is the Fellowship at its full strength headed that way. And it is some of the most chill-inducing, massive score. At the same time, visually, you're seeing like the most insane wide shots of New Zealand, just like all over. And it's so much to handle, but it is incredible. It is such a moment in this movie.
Yeah, I know we'll bring it up, Michael, especially like the idea of creating a theme and reusing it and reusing it smartly and thematically and all of that. I mean, this trilogy, I don't know if there's a set of movies or individual movie that's ever done that better. Like last episode talked about how like Gondor doesn't truly come into play until Return of the King. But, you know, whenever Boromir gives his speech about Long has his people, you hear that Gondorian theme running underneath that whole thing. And I love that they do that with the Fellowship theme here. Like for the first time, whenever the Fellowship of the Ring title card here like appears on the screen, you get the dun, 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 like with the title, because that's what it is. And after that, you get hints of it, especially when they meet Aragorn and Bree and they're traveling from Bree to Rivendell. You'll hear like it's reaching towards, like it's fulfillment. It's always, you're always hearing a little bit of dun dun dun, like it's there. And then the Fellowship forms, and this is the first time you hit it with all of its might, everything behind it, and it's incredible. Like everybody knows that shot and those, like that theme there. Like everybody, you say the ring goes south to people and they're like, oh yeah, that track is amazing. Like that's such a moment. And I love that, like we've just kind of kept hearing this theme try to break into coming out all movie, and then it just lets loose there, and it's so cool. And that it also just highlights how incredible the costume department went, and just the general like production design of the costume designs and everything, with like something that Peter Jackson said is he generally his favorite rule of thumb is he wants a character to be able to be picked out by a silhouette. And that shot of like Gandalf and Aragorn and Boromir and Legolas and Gimli, you're like, oh yeah, all of these are the most recognizable set of people I've ever seen. And just get the whole group there through that whole travel montage. It's amazing.
It's fantastic. Actually, I'm gonna do this real quick. Insert clip here. And I love when they start getting like the snowy mountain, and we start seeing, this is where we like really start seeing Boromir's character a lot more, when Frodo drops the ring in the snow, and you get the amazing technique that they used before. They literally used the same ring that they had for the extreme close-up before. They just dropped it with a chain like into the snow to get that really cool shot. But seeing Boromir go up to it and pick it up, and just his internal struggle of, like the temptation of the ring, and like the weight that he has being a part of the Fellowship and being a part of, like, helping carry the ring to Mordor, because you don't really get that much in this film. You see a flashback in the Two Towers Extended. And one thing I forgot to mention is, between recording our first part and now that we're here, I listened to the entire audiobook of The Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
And specifically the one narrated by Andy Serkis, which was fantastic.
Of course. Would you listen to anything else?
I actually like the other narrator that they have for like the older version of the audiobook is actually, I like it, because it's he's got like that old like English kind of
nice
feel. So
he sounds like he is the Oxford guy reading, like a peer of Tolkien reading it to you.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a vibe in itself, but yeah, you can't go wrong with Serkis. But you learn later the weight of Boromir being on this journey and how he's under a lot of pressure from his father to be like the next heir of Gondor. And so I think that's like one of those things where, you know, if you don't have that context, seeing Boromir go and make the decision to pick up the ring and really feel that pull, you don't fully understand like the
Ring's got another one, you know, just
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like with that context, it really just makes everything for who he is. And you know, even when I'm like, there's other moments that we'll get to later where I'm like, Boromir, like, what are you doing, bro? Stop. But when you like fully understand who he is and why he's making those decisions, it clicks. It makes a lot more sense. You may not agree with what he's doing, and I certainly don't, but I think that this is like, you know, Michael said it best last episode. You know, he's a misunderstood character.
That scene is so good in general, though. Like the shot you're mentioning, and one of my favorite lines is that when he picks it up and he's just staring at it, and he's like, "It's strange fate that we should suffer so much fear and doubt over so small a thing." Like when he's just like taken by it in front of him, and the track that they play over that when he's saying those lines and he's looking at the ring is amazing. It is such a like, it's a sound and theme and feel that you really like. I don't think that particular like the theme they're using that they're playing over that is used elsewhere in the trilogy. It's just a really like, it's such a great like 20 seconds of music. But there's so much like so many things that are like memorable beats in it, like the whole like I care not, and you know, rubbing Frodo's head is like, oh, dude, you've made this so much more awkward, and Aragorn, you know, letting his hand off the hilt. Like it's just such a tense scene, but it's so good.
Yeah. I get it. Like to a degree, like, especially if you don't know what Boromir becomes, or like, if you don't know the backstory, for Boromir, if you don't have the full context, like you said, Drew, like all we kind of see is like, we kind of get red flags right off the bat at the, you know, the meeting, you know, with all of them. And, red flags right off the bat. And he definitely is, because of the pressure that he's under, because of his, honestly, like I believe he's genuinely just super concerned about the future of his people, and he feels
all he asks for is the strength to defend his people.
Yeah, and he feels 100% the weight of that burden, and it is all on him to change things. And this is right in front of him. This is like why wouldn't he feel like, oh my gosh, this is a gift, right? Like, and so he is obviously going to be susceptible to the wiles of the ring, right? So like, I just think that I love characters like this so much. Then like, yes, of course, like you said, like he makes decisions that are the wrong decisions in these movies. In this movie, he makes bad decisions multiple times, but it also shows, especially there's some stuff in the extended, once they get to, oh my gosh, I always forget the name of Lothlorien. When they get to that part, there's some stuff with him and Aragorn and him and Galadriel that like, it really, really helps understand even more of him. Like there's so much depth to him, and I don't know, like just knowing how it ends for him and knowing where it goes and understanding what pressure he's under and whether it's himself putting on him or his father or both. I just think the way that they handle do we trust this guy? Do we not? Like the way they kind of handle all of that? Because then you have the scenes on the mountaintop where he's like teaching Merry and Pippin how to sword fight and like wrestling with them. And it's adorable. He like genuinely cares, you know, like you don't get the sense that this guy is just evil, right? You don't get that sense, but he's obviously susceptible to the ring, just like all of them are. And so,
even Gandalf.
There's a reason why Frodo is the one and like tasked with this job.
Yeah, Frodo is great, you idiots.
Also, we won't tolerate any Frodo hate on this podcast either.
Nope.
Anyway, back to just to bring it back all around. I think this scene it sets up so much. Like obviously you have the epic stuff we talked about too, and an amazing shot of the ring. But then just the tense scene there with Boromir, and then Aragorn has his hand on the hilt of his sword, like I will kill you.
Yeah,
I would not hesitate to kill you before you do something. It's so intense, and it also shows you too, just like, okay, yeah, we really can trust Aragorn. Like he is the most. We understand at that moment that he would have followed him to the end. That he would have followed Frodo to the end. Yeah. So
I know.
That I know we're like talking about it too early, but that line, whew, it's good.
Yeah. To the fires of Mordor.
I see you. Oh man. I also love, and in our part 1, I don't think we ever mentioned Saruman, which is crazy. Because there's some
really
great we didn't. There's some great stuff with, you know, showing Isengard, showing the Palantir, showing the how the Uruk-hai get created and everything.
I do feel like I mentioned how badass he looked in that like intro. You know, when we see him in the metal, like, you know, his armor and stuff. But I think that's it. I think you're right.
But yeah, like there's so much that like we didn't talk about with all of that. And when we get to this mountaintop and they're in like this harsh like blizzard, trying to get across, get to the other side. I also love like a lot of the dialogue exchanges here, the danger of like nature. And even though, you know, Saruman's using spells to like cause like the avalanche and everything, it's still like there's something about it where to me it shows like it's not a safe journey no matter which way they go, right?
Yeah.
There's always going to be danger that follows, even if it's an avalanche. And I also really like the indecisiveness of the Fellowship here, where, you know, Aragorn, Gandalf, Gimli, and Boromir, like they can't decide on which way to go. They all know that Moria is not the best option.
You fear to go there.
Yeah. And Boromir, this is something that I forgot about, but Boromir name drops Rohan in this scene, which I think is really cool. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, we should go to the plains of Rohan.
Yeah. That's where he's trying to get it, like, because he says it there, like, we should make for the cup of Rohan. And then whenever they're in the cave after the whole, this is no mind, it's a tomb. He's like, we make for the cup of Rohan. It's like, that's, that is where he's after.
Yeah.
Also, just realizing that I that I thought you said Sauron and you said Saruman. That's my bad.
Yeah. That's all. I didn't want to be like, actually.
Yeah, once you started talking about the wizard battle here, I was like, oh, right. I heard the wrong name.
Probably the weakest battle in all of Lord of the Rings.
I do that. There's this one point in here where it's literally like goes back and forth between him and Gandalf and him and Gandalf, just like literally wizarding out. And it's wizard is what it is. It's so wizard.
It is so wizard.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I kind of love that battle.
Oh no, I'm
do
serious.
too.
Like
Yeah.
it's incredible. I love it. Seeing that storm, like him making the storm above the mountains. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
That's
I thought you were
awesome.
talking about the one where they're flinging each other around and whatnot.
No. I was talking about because we're at the point where they're in the mountains. I thought we were talking about this part where they're literally like casting spells at each other and just like it's so freaking massive.
Yeah.
But they're on opposite sides of the world. Basically, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Goes to show like how powerful they both are.
Yeah. Well, and especially Saruman, because I don't think Gandalf's spells were working.
Yeah, he was trying his best.
Yeah.
Not quite working.
He knows a lot of spells, so
He still had that gray.
it's easy to forget about him. So after Gandalf and Saruman duke it out with their spells, and obviously Gandalf is definitely losing this fight, they finally decide Moria is the way that they're going. And on the way there, we get a really underrated track in this score that, to me, perfectly captures the vibe, the grandness, the scale of Moria. And like the theme goes like bum bum bum.
It plays over the first shot when they're marching over Caradaras as well.
Yep.
Yep. It's twice, and I don't think it's on the score. It's not on the soundtrack, which stinks. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But that first cut, you get that, and that's always stuck out to me.
Yep. It's awesome, and I wish that track was like officially released, because it's super underrated. Because to me, like, it just feels like an ancient. When I hear it, I think ancient dwarven cave system city. The mines of Moria.
Mine.
Oh, mine. But yeah, when we get to Moria, also another phenomenal track when we get to the gate and the gate starts to glow. I love just the mystical, like fantastical feel that you get here. Cause you get a lot of like contrast. You get the Shire, which still like fantasy, right? But feels more familiar. You get Rivendell, which is like, all right, this is awesome. This is like another world. You get the New Zealand mountains, which is like, okay, this is awesome. But familiar-ish. And then I feel like the film has a good pace of like, and a good contrast of like seeing what like the world of men see, and then seeing what, the elves, the dwarves, the hobbits, seeing what they see. And yeah, I love the glow on the gate. I think is just one of the most iconic like visuals to me.
By the way, Tolkien himself drew the Door of Durin. Like that design of that door is on the original copies of Lord of the Rings that he drew, which I think is awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I love that. Like there's a lot of stuff like that he drew, and like obviously like there's the artists who have made like some of the most iconic like paintings and covers for Lord of the Rings, but I feel like not a lot of people realize that Tolkien drew like a lot of this stuff, like all of the maps and everything, like he did on his own. This guy, Tolkien did everything.
He did it all.
He really did.
Yeah, he didn't just do part of the way here. He was all in.
He invented languages.
He literally invented languages that people memorize.
Yeah,
to this day.
Not just memorize, but like people study.
They
like,
study it and speak it.
It's academic.
It's wild.
I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this part, like this is kind of the beginning of, especially young me, but even kind of now me, is like this section from the door of Durin all the way through like the other side of Moria. This is such an incredible sequence of scenes. Like I think Moria is one of the greatest sections of any film ever.
Yeah.
And a lot of that also, like, it comes from me still being in many ways like a 6-year-old boy at heart. It was just like, that monster in the water, the Watcher in the water is dope. I think that's such a cool monster design. But yeah, once we get here and we go through Moria, this sequence is just nonstop bangers.
Speak, friend, and enter.
What's the Elvis word for friend?
Melon. Oh, by the one of the coolest exchanges ever. So at the house that I'm living in, I have a welcome mat that says "Speak, friend, and enter." And whenever I moved here, the neighbors left cookies on the porch with a welcome card, and at the bottom he wrote "Melon." And I was like, this guy rules.
That's
and
awesome.
Are y'all best friends now or what?
Yeah, I barely ever see him out, but
bummer.
But I know he rules.
One day you will have a marathon together.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But
that's freaking cool.
This is also the beginning of the Gandalf and Pippin dynamic.
Oh my god!
This line cracks me up. What are you going to do? Knock your head against it. Like that. There's something like almost frightening seeing like Gandalf, like of all people, just so totally at a loss and at his wit's end and frustrated. Where you're like, frick, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah,
but
and it's usually that just him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I even feel like there's like some good bits of dialogue too. Like even Aragorn like questioning them going into the mines like here. And I feel like you get a good sense that like if Gandalf knows that this isn't a good idea, like there's a lot of weight to that. And I don't know. I think that's felt not even through those like funny bits, but like it's very serious. But I like that like these films are able to like break up moments with bits of humor that like fit perfectly within the setting and the tone.
It's never really undermining anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, it never does. It never undermines it.
Behold the Underminer.
You know what's so funny is that literally that's what when I said undermines, that line went through my head and I was like, I can't get the Incredibles out of my head now.
Incredibles on the pod win.
I mean, seriously? Let's do it.
Yeah.
We haven't really done a Pixar movie since WALL-E, I don't think.
Yeah.
And James wasn't even there.
That's true.
No, he wasn't.
But yeah, this sequence, for whatever reason, when I was younger, this was never my favorite sequence of the movie. And And I don't know if it's just because I like that so much of it takes place. Like I'm drawn to the Shire, I'm drawn to Rivendell, I'm drawn to the mountains and the woods later in the end of the movie. Like there's something about those settings. I don't know if they're just more familiar or if they're just really warm. Like I like to be in those places. This is the damp, dark, seedy. Like I never liked to be in this, part of the movie when I was younger. The older I get, the more I'm like, that's the point. And like, it is uncomfortable. There's dark creatures everywhere here. And it's genuinely scary at times. Like there are genuinely scary moments here.
Yeah, even the reveal of Gollum is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
The way like the shadows are like covering most of his face except for the eyes. Ugh.
Yeah.
And then his fingers going like
yeah. But like whether it's the like seeing all of the, it's a tomb, seeing all the skeletons of the dwarves everywhere, seeing like reading the story, like them reading the story in that book.
They have barred the gates.
Yeah, like reading that, and then the horror when Fool of a Took drops the everything down the well or whatever that is.
Makes me laugh every time.
It's so funny and it lasts so long. It just keeps going. And but the horror of that, and then like the reveal of all of the, the goblins and they have a cave troll. The cave troll looks awesome.
Gosh.
Yeah.
It really, and I cannot
Also
believe 2000, what was 2001 when it was released.
It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like it, not only does it like look good, but it also feels very physical. Like you can feel the weight and strength of it. And I love the sounds that the sound effects that they have.
I was gonna say a lot of the reason for that is the sound designs.
And one particular, like obviously like this, like the roar that the trolls do, awesome. But there's one sound that I don't know why, like it's just ingrained in my brain. But it's whenever the cave troll dies and it goes.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So I've been telling you guys about this, but for any listeners, I have been listening to this one of my favorite podcasts. It's called The Soundtrack Show, and this past couple of episodes has been an interview with the sound designer. I believe his name's David Farmer. For this trilogy, he's done a ton of big stuff over the years. But this was really his first big thing to do, apparently.
I think it was like a lot of people who worked on this movie.
Mm-hmm, yep. Yeah. But he said that one of the cool things about the environment of working on this movie, the collaboration, was like it wasn't this scene in particular, but it was one of the big scenes in the movie. He brought the animators in to like hear the sounds that are going along with stuff that their CGI, like they've been working on with the CGI, so that they could see they've been doing this on their end. This is what it's going to be like with your, with the sound. And he said that it was really cool because like, we always thought that they did a great job with their stuff, but they came in and watched what it was like with the sound. And then they were actually like, oh my gosh, like there's things that because we see this is incredible. We can actually add stuff here and here to make this better. Like the greatness of every aspect of these movies technically was like inspiring other departments to be better. And because for like this because of this, the way that this movie was made, they wouldn't happen this way today, but they had a lot of time to work on stuff. He said he was like, we had so much more time back then to do stuff than we ever would now. But because of that time that they gave us, they had the time to go back and add texture to this or add whatever to that to go along with what I added sound wise, so that it was just like we kept just sharpening it and making it better and better. I just thought that's a really cool thing. When we were talking about the cave troll, that kind of makes me wonder how like how much of that happened there, even because it looks so good. Like even if there's no sound, it's like, wow, that looks really good. But you said it. I think it's Drew. You said you really feel the weight. It feels so big and heavy, and like you feel when it hits somebody, you really feel it. That's because of the sound design, and it's all one big thing. And without one of those elements, it would feel lesser than. But the whole together is it is stunning. It really is.
Yeah. The donut hole within the donut hole.
Within a donut-sized hole.
Obviously, they're super famous, but truly cannot recommend the behind the scenes on the extended edition enough. Like, it made, like, 7-year-old me was enthralled watching, like, the gaffer talk about lighting. Like, and this is... Like, this is how you light this scene. Like, I always notice it now, but like in Lothlorien, whenever they talk to Galadriel, like the book talks about how you feel like you could see the stars in her eyes. And he takes it upon himself. That he didn't, like, this is not, Peter Jackson came up to me and blah, blah, blah. This is the lighting technician being like, I read the book and it says this. How can I do that and how I'm going to light the scene? And he bought a bunch of Christmas lights and kind of tangled them all up and held them offset. And you can see the reflection of all of the dots of the lights in her eyes. Like you're seeing the stars in her eyes. And I promise when you go back and watch it, you're going to notice that and be like, oh my gosh.
I've never noticed that before, but I need to go back.
Yeah. You see them.
You don't have to do that. But the fact that you do, man, you really can tell people that just loved the source material were working on this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the sound design is incredible. Like, because again, like, as you don't really think about, like, well, a cave troll sounds like a cave troll. Like, what else is a cave troll supposed to sound like? We're like, whenever you're working on paper, it's like, well, wait, hold on. And then when you're like, oh yeah, we took sounds from a lion roar or like yawning here, and then like the barks of a walrus over here, and it's like just everything. And it took like all the imagination and creativity of like, we just, for like hours and hours, we listened to animal sounds until like we mix and match. And Balrog's roar, like that, whenever he jumps out of the fire and he roars, is literally them grinding a cinder block across a concrete like parking lot. It's so cool. It's so amazing.
Sound design and like Foley artists are like some of my favorite within like the production team. Like just in terms of like filmmaking, I think it's one of the coolest aspects of filmmaking, because like and not just for film but like video games too. Just real quick random side tangent, I remember watching like a behind the scenes of Dead Space, and those games are like really really gory, and one of the ways that they made the sound for the gore, they took a carrot and just snapped it in half and kept snapping it into pieces. Perfect. So like it sounded incredible. Like a bone like crunching.
That's amazing. I love that. Yes.
And so like just like you see stuff like that, like even in this film, like the Isengard theme, and how they literally just took like pots and like chains and just like smacked them together, and it makes this really cool evil like industrial feel. It's awesome.
Oh,
dun, 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 dun.
It sounds like industry. You know,
it just sounds
like
it's awesome.
And it is too, like I love that we're getting, like, we don't talk about sound design enough, I don't think. And in fact, I think I'm going to start talking about it more, because like it is just wild to think about. Literally every sound that happens in the movie was done by the sound design and Foley artist. Like there's not a single sound happening on screen that they didn't do, like it, other than like the voices of the actors, like every like little footstep of a person is them. Like it's crazy how much is them.
Blew my mind the first time I watched a recording of them, like watching the footage of a battle holding metal, and like every time a sword hit a shield, they go bang, bang, and like a character was running in chainmail, and so they're like shuffling around chain. I'm like, this is what? It's just never knew that was just part of what it looks like to put together a movie.
It's so cool. Shout out sound designers and shout out Foley artists. Thank you for everything awesome. You do.
Exactly.
I know you're listening.
Yeah. Guys, just a random suggestion. We could make an entire episode if we wanted to on the behind the scenes for these films.
Gosh, that would be so appropriate.
Let's go.
That could be like our capper for the trilogy. We just do an episode on that.
And then we can just keep going. We can do The Hobbit after that.
Oh yeah.
And apparently, I have never watched it, but apparently King Kong got quite the special features treatment as well.
Gosh.
So, and he brought most of his crew over there, so you're just tagging along with the same people and loving up. And that's what when you said David Farmer, I'm like, I love David Farmer. That guy's great. Like
he's an aura farmer.
He is.
Yeah, so he did King Kong too, I guess. Yeah. That's
So like James, you were mentioning how like this whole like sequence is like very formative for you, like all of the Moria stuff. I agree with that, and I think like one of the coolest moments for me as a kid, but also terrifying, was whenever all of the goblins start running away.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
and you hear the stomps. And you see the orange slowly get brighter and brighter.
Sound design, the sound that plays there, like the rumbling as the orange approaches. Oh,
yeah, it's phenomenal. That reveal, and like when you get the proper reveal, the Balrog is like,
this beast is beyond any of you.
Run!
One of the coolest freaking reveals of anything ever. It has one of the coolest designs I've ever seen.
Yep.
And I think like this was formative for me of like having just this desire to kill demons in like video games. So like that's why I'm like, oh yeah, Doom is awesome because I'm just killing a bunch of Balrogs, and it instilled this like desire to be like, yeah, I just want to slay demons. So like Doom and there's another example I had but it escaped my mind. But yeah, the whole Moria sequence, and especially when the Balrog shows up, and gosh, the whole sequence, the action sequence of them jumping along the staircases as they're falling apart, and how does it look this visually incredible for being 2001?
Wild.
It looks real.
Yeah.
And then you get the really freaking cool shot of Legolas shooting the arrow into the goblin.
Yeah.
There's just some incredible filmmaking going on this whole sequence, and the score.
Oh my gosh! Dun 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 dun. Yeah.
It's
also just like it's so dark, but you can see everything so clearly. It's lit.
The lighting is amazing,
beautifully.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to be realistic with your lighting movies.
Something that I really love about, like, every now and then you get this in Lord of the Rings with Peter Jackson, where you kind of see his like really, really zany indie horror quirks come out, where like I feel like he and Sam Raimi actually have a lot, like just in their instincts and like what they think looks cool and like the weird stuff they like to do. There's a lot of crossover. And like I'm thinking even like whenever the Fool of a Took happens, and you hear the first drum, and the camera just like runs up to the well and like dives into it, and you're just getting like the quick pans of all the weird, like all the the chains and pulley system of Moria. Like I love that, and I feel the same way with like the arrow shot, where like that is such a it's. I don't know if it's like the prestige thing to do, but it feels like the whoosh, straight to the forehead. I'm like, I love it when he just like does things like that. It's so cool, and it comes with, to me, it gives so much personality. Like to me, all of the weird, like the whipping, like pan shots of Moria with the drums behind him, like that's iconic to me now. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's the way those shots look like. I remember that, and the arrow thing and all of it. I love all of that kind of stuff when he does it.
Also, dude, some of these, y'all are talking about the steps, like them going down the steps and stuff. That little tiny bridge that's like 6 inches wide that they run across.
Yeah.
That overhead shot of them running is so good.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. The one, like it's terrifying. I have, every time I watch this movie, I'm like, I don't think I could have escaped. I think I would have died because I couldn't have run on these steps. Yeah. I would have died. I would have fallen. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Drew, something you said with when they're crossing in the snow, is that like it starts to feel, and especially like with the weather and nature, like that you're starting to feel like, okay, this journey is dangerous. I feel like we feel that increasingly in this section too. Like whenever they're outside the gates, a line that I love is when you're seeing the water like really lapping and they're throwing stones, and Aragorn is just like, do not disturb the water. Like these hobbits have like no notion or category for like the world they're in now, where it's like you don't know what's there, let's leave that alone. And then whenever they end up getting stuck there, I love the effect of Gandalf like kind of banging his staff on the floor to get it to light up. But whenever he's like, we must now risk the long dark of Moria. There are older and fouler things than orcs in the deep places of the world. Where you're just like, this whole journey is getting you further and further and further into, like you said, the deep and ancient places that just have things crawling around that these hobbits have no idea of, and it's just increasingly dangerous. And then again, like whenever even Boromir is like, what is this new devilry? Like, what's going on? And Gandalf's like, we're dealing with demons things. Yeah. I mean, that's like with the extended edition of Two Towers, he just came off of literally the front lines. Like Osgiliath is the front lines. And to just, I can't imagine like being them and hearing Gandalf be like, we are now facing like demons of world, like, wars and ages gone by. Like he's up now. That's now what we're dealing with. It's just that like there's that constant escalation of like, we're not just walking through the woods anymore. Like you can't throw stones in waters. You can't linger too long. The hills are going to be crawling with orcs. Like, it's just, the safety is so far behind.
You can't set up campfires on top of a a meadow.
I'll show my tomatoes.
Hill in a meadow. Yeah.
It's
we saved you
the
some
power
bacon.
of Morgoth. What did you say?
Put it out, you fools.
Put it out, Gandalf did. Dude, the
Balrog, man.
Yeah. The getting to that bridge and seeing the Balrog go with the whip.
Like when he like puffs his chest out, like he's like showing off.
And the roar, like just seeing like the close up of his mouth open, and you just see the fire. Like, it's awesome.
The swagger he walks with when he's just like walking towards them, I'm like, golly, dude, this guy's actually farming. This guy is incredible.
Yeah. He is Farmer. He's the audio guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's freaking awesome. And I love the sacrifice that Gandalf makes here to save everyone. I mean, like, he wasn't intending to sacrifice himself, I guess, but like him, like blocking the Balrog using the freaking awesome spell and iconic line, "You shall not pass." Boom. And
So iconic.
oh man. But every time, like, even knowing like where Gandalf is going to be like moving forward, knowing what happens in the next two films, it hits like a freight train every time the whip comes swinging back around and grabs
The
him.
sound design, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And the visual effects too are just freaking
Yeah.
fantastic here.
The way that they somehow created, like, it's described as shadow and flame, and
Yeah.
it really, I don't know how they did that. It just looks, for the body to look like a shadow, but also the flames kind of coming out from everywhere around and inside. It's horrifying. And it's, I again cannot believe this came out in 2001, and which means they were making this in the 90s.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Yes, they were making this movie in the 90s, and this is how good it looked. It's just crazy. And again, I will say, I've said this on this podcast before, but there's something about that era, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, when they were doing when it was obvious CGI was becoming a big part of movie making, but there was still so much practical involved that the marriage of the two, this was like a golden age for how movies look, because you were using CGI supplementing what you couldn't do, or what you were limited by with real props and stuff like that. And there was just this authenticity to everything, because you never felt like, oh, they're in front of green screens right now. You never really felt that with these movies until like Attack of the Clones, stuff like that. But like there was this balance back then, and it's a really fun time to go back and visit watching movies from this era.
And they knew that, like, the digital effects artists knew that they had to prove themselves. Like, now there's this, digital effects aren't going anywhere. But like, when you're like, we've got a cave troll that we need, it's like, okay, we've got to put freaking everything into this troll. We got to put everything into this Balrog. These are fully CGI creatures. This is going to be stand out. We have to, we cannot cut corners. This has to look perfect, or we're going to tank the movie, and they look perfect.
Yeah.
And like, one of the limitations of CGI back then is typically they would use a lot of like shadows, like, and darker lighting for the CGI, so it would hide like any of the like imperfections, which makes it look even better. And that limitation, like, I can also think of like how back then we didn't really get a lot of films shot, like, we only got them shot in specific like time frames. Like, the typical like filmmaking thing to do is you shoot from these hours to these hours. If you want the golden hour, you shoot then. If you want twilight, you shoot then. But like back then, we didn't really get a lot of, all right, we're shooting midday and the sun is like bright, perfectly out, and we're gonna have a bunch of CGI characters while the sun is like, at its brightest. And so like, that's part of the reason why like the CGI looks so freaking good in these movies, is because they understood that limitation. They used it as a strength, and it works really well in these films, since it's all these like evil creatures. So and Mordor is like darkness. So naturally you're gonna have like darker lighting for them. But I love like that the limitations that they had back then. I feel like created a lot more creative CGI.
Yeah, and then the limitations, like you said, but then like in everything that they possibly could do it real. Like with Helm's Deep, all like we're not using CGI to make it look like there's thousands of orcs. We're using, for the most part, we're using people in costume.
Although they did invent something that is kind of like they created that program called Massive, where it's literally just a
copy and pasting kind of thing.
Well, no, because what's like it's not just copy pasting. It is like they basically create a type of person that reacts to different things, and it's almost like the way video games work, where like they react depending on what's in front of them. So if you walk in front of them, they're going to react to you. So a lot of the battles, whenever you're getting these wide, massive shots of thousands of people, those aren't the interactions. Like the actual battles aren't scripted. They're like they program characters. If an Uruk-hai sees an elf, he's going to go and he's going to try to strike it, and the elf is going to try to block. So it literally is like basically the way video games work, where it's like it is just a giant army of literally like not pre-programmed, but like AI, an army of different like AI fighting each other that have programs of like, if you see this, do this, blah, blah, blah. But it was it basically became the standard after that. Like this little very small New Zealand team of programmers built the thing that like everybody uses now.
Heck yeah,
it's crazy.
And now like Weta Productions, that they do all of the like big CGI. Like they did all of the avatars. They're doing like they've done a lot of stuff with the MCU, Star Wars. Like they've touched a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And then so obviously there's not actually like 20,000 actors on the set doing things, but like so when they're doing these CGI shots, they're literally creating the thing to do it with. And then whenever we have these close-up action shots and even not even close-up, even big shots back, there's a lot of extras. There's a lot of extras, and they all have makeup. They all have, armor on. It's crazy to watch how many of them are actually in it and how much time they spent on it. And and then you go even into the next trilogy of these, and it doesn't feel the same way. You really feel like they leaned a lot more into the CGI stuff, and you really feel you miss the weight. You miss it feels light. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It feels like, okay, I'm watching CGI right now. I really don't feel that most of the time in these movies. Very few times that I feel that. So yeah. Again, that time period is just such a fun one to go back and revisit. Pirates of the Caribbean is another like example of that. So, but yeah,
seeing everyone's reaction to Gandalf dying.
Oh my gosh.
And the track.
Heart-wrenching. Yeah.
One of my favorites ever.
Yeah.
Which was also in the Man of Steel trailer.
Yeah. And that teaser Iconic. Goes so hard.
It does. That trailer made me like so excited for that movie. But yeah, it's a beautiful, that voice, goodness. What's that person's name? I need to know. I don't know the singer's name.
I don't know who sings that part.
She's all over this movie, I think. Or is it I honestly don't know like who it is. But
I'm not sure.
Whoever it is, beautiful voice, and like that. Just there's a beautiful like pad and strings bed that the whole thing's just sitting on top of, and it's just like the most emotional and beautiful progression. And
I'm hearing it in my head, and I'm like wanting to cry.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Let them mourn for pity's sake.
That's again. What a great, like, normal, good man, good guy kind of, like, it's not, like, no agendas, no nothing. It's just, like, his heart is breaking for these people, and he's like,
Yeah.
and again, Aragorn is right. Like, yeah, we got to move, but it's just, I feel like that's a testament to like the kind of person he is, where that's his gut reaction. Is just like, let them mourn, man. Let them be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all the reaction shots are like so good and depressing. Somebody like I read somewhere, somebody was like, you've got the shot of Pippin's head literally just laying in Merry's lap, just like weeping, and somebody being like, yeah, he's probably weeping because he thinks it's his fault. Like,
yeah. Gosh, I never even thought about it that way. What the heck? Oh man, that's powerful.
Oof.
And then that money shot of whenever Frodo turns around and just the tear down the cheek. It's like, put that on every trailer. What a shot.
I don't know if they digitally enhance his eyes, but man, his eyes just are soul piercing.
Big blue.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta watch if people haven't somehow, the Hans Jensen, the Dominic Monaghan interview of Elijah Wood is the greatest thing in the world.
When will you wear wigs?
Michael, have you seen that?
I don't think I have.
Oh dude. We're gonna change that.
Yeah, you can't go to bed tonight without watching that.
Yeah,
it's maybe the funniest thing on the internet.
I feel like I've heard of that. I've heard that sentence before, but I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, dude,
it's a hidden special feature on the Return of the King's disc.
Oh my gosh.
And in it, Dominic Monaghan like remotely interviewed Elijah Wood, but he pretended to be a German interviewer named Hans Jensen, and he put on a voice and everything. And he interviews Elijah Wood with the funniest questions, and you just slowly watch Elijah Wood like try to feel like there's no way this is real. It is truly hysterical. It's one of the funniest things.
It's amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to dig for it later.
When we after we wrap up this episode, like you gotta watch it like live. I gotta hear your reaction.
Okay.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Anyway. Shout out to that.
But the scene isn't so funny. The scene is depressing.
No, this scene is not funny at all.
It's actually the funniest scene in any movie ever. Because joke's on you. Gandalf doesn't die.
These idiots think he's dead.
Also, like something that I do think that I really like, and Orlando Bloom talked about, like both how he portrayed it here and how he portrayed it at Boromir's death, but like this idea that Legolas has seen so little death because he hasn't been in a lot of wars, and like elves don't die of old age, and so he intentionally kind of plays up like a very sad confusion. Like when you look at it, he's just taken aback at like, wait, like Gandalf's dead. Like how do I even think about that? And you see it again kind of with Boromir, where he's just looking, and it's like he's portraying it as like just almost like his heart breaking as he's discovering like this is just life for other people. Like this is people have to get used to the death of loved ones, and he like doesn't know how to react to it.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
It's weird that he has so few lines in these movies. If you really think about it, like he really doesn't have many lines at all. But his presence is so known. Like everybody loves Legolas. Like he's the coolest, but he doesn't talk hardly at all. There's very, very few lines he actually has. And but he just makes such an impression. And obviously they give him the coolest, like funnest action sequences too, especially in the second and third movies. But yeah, I just think it's pretty cool. He was a pretty unknown actor at the time. He wasn't super big yet. He hadn't done Pirates yet. So
that's not good enough.
What a great one.
Yeah.
I also think he's helped out by, again, just peerless character design. like the outfit with like the cool branching shoulder pads and the green kind of elven skirt. Oh yeah, looks so cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Speaking of elves, though, we get to Lothlorien, and again, talk about being transported into another world. And I love the weird, like, hazy kind of feel that, like, it feels very dreamlike. And it's the type of look that you'd get in a lot of like early 2000s 90 movies when you get dream sequences, but the way that it looks and works in this just is unmatched, I think. Like there's something about it, and also there's a lot of like mystery. The vibe of like going from Rivendell to Lothlorien is like night and day difference. Because when we get to Lothlorien, I'm like, there's something off about this place. And what we had talked about in our last episode, Rivendell and the theme of Rivendell. It has that mysterious feel to it, but it's like, it's a peaceful one. But like, just visually, I don't get that feeling when we get to Lothlorien.
Or musically.
Yeah.
There is like this weird, there's a choir. There's like a choir feel, and it is atonal. Like I feel very unsettled because it doesn't pick a key and stay there. It is like, it's like, it sounds kind of minor, and then it's like, oh, and then it sounds kind of major, and then it's just like, oh, now they're just doing half steps, and now like it is really off-putting, and like it makes me question the people we're about to meet. You know, it makes me wonder like what their deal is, and then they start like they show very quickly like you hear whispers, and you hear like they're reading the minds of the people coming in, basically, like, and talking to them.
One who has seen the eye.
Yeah, one who's seen the eye. It's terrifying. And so like, yeah, it's pretty creepy. It's a very different vibe. And they the way that they communicate that visually and sonically is just really cool.
Yeah. That instrument that they used that did like that, like it's like,
yeah,
it like I remember watching it as a kid and not really like know it. Like I didn't have like a word for like the way it made me feel, or I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It was weird. It was very like unsettling as a child to be like, there's something about the sound. And like, I love it when you start talking like that of like, you know, minor and major and half set, like all this kind of stuff, and knowing that like doing all of that kind of stuff, like what's the end result for somebody who is like so musically ignorant for somebody like me? I'm like, it makes me unsettled, man. I don't know why. I can't explain any of that, but like the final product is just this like haze, like what? I don't want to close my eye. I don't feel like it's so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like almost not, it's not mathematic, but there are like musical reasons why you feel that way. And it is the music, the notes that they choose are very intentionally chosen to make you feel a certain way. And Howard Shore is kind of he's a genius with it. He is the like, you know, the Shire theme is very, it's like, there's a line in The Holiday where Jack Black's character writes a piece of music for oh my goodness, what's her name? Kate Winslet's character. And he said, I used only the good notes. And it's like, the Shire theme has only the good notes. The Shire theme is everything that's good in this world. It's comfortable. It's home. And that's just one example. But then like you get to Isengard and it's got that 5/4 dun 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 dun, and it's like, okay, you're not in like a normal time signature. I feel again off kilter. I feel kind of weird and unsettled, and then you're using literal like metal things to do the beats with, so it feels industrial.
That's so cool.
Like there's I could explain the musical reasons why you feel the way you feel. It's just he's so good at making at each of these different realms within Middle Earth. They feel very specific, and we have emotional reactions to all of them, and it's brilliant.
Yeah. And what's amazing is he is able to take this Lothlorien theme and later on make it a battle theme, like whenever the Lothlorien elves show up at Helm's Deep. And it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Man. I can't wait to get to the Two Towers, because when the elves show up at Helm's Deep, that is like one of my favorite.
When they turn in unison and the bows drop and they my gosh.
Yeah. Or when they shoot, like they're in the area behind, like down below, and they shoot all their arrows above, like and they don't kill the people in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. And Halder is just there wearing the coolest armor known to freaking man.
He's definition of Orif army.
Everyone in these is really.
That's very true. Yeah. Gosh.
I will just be gushing about the Rohan theme for 4 hours. So that'll just be me. I think that's my favorite theme of all of these movies. I cannot wait to get to it.
One of my favorite themes of all time, period. Like, it's in my top 5.
It's one of those themes that, like, I don't know if there's ever been a theme that has captured such a specific idea in music alone, maybe ever, where I'm like, this is about like a kingdom that had splendor, but it's not there anymore. Like, it's recalling something great, but it's not, it's kind of precarious. Like, it's like, there's so much that you just feel in the music.
Yeah. That it's like literally the theme of it's being played on like a single violin, like it's almost hanging on by a thread. The greatness is hanging on by one thread, but
it's still there. It's surviving.
And then later on, it is like in full, and because they're fighting back. They've chosen to fight back, and it's
go hit him!
Oh man, dude, I'm telling you,
all over my body.
If I could be from anywhere in Lord of the Rings, it would be Rohan.
Whew. Sounds like a tough life, bro.
It does, but dude, the history of Rohan, so powerful.
For death and ruin.
Michael, you had mentioned several times in our first episode, and you've also mentioned it in this episode, that like Lothlorien specifically is, for the extended edition of this, is like really what makes it for you.
Yeah.
Let's hear some of that.
Yeah. And I really wish I would have watched it again. Because it's been how long has it been since we recorded part
like
1? 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I really wish I would have rewatched it again, because I'm not quite as prepared for this part as I wish I was, but because specific notes, I'm gonna have to search through here. But like, there's the theatrical version. It skips past so many character beats here, and there's a lot that they do through the interactions with Galadriel, and through interactions with each other, where they're all like
everybody looking at Frodo,
or even just like talking with each other. Like, there's a whole conversation here where that Aragorn and Boromir have that I don't think is in
It's not,
theatrical. Yeah. And it kind of reminds me, we've talked about this talking about Star Wars. There's a scene, I'm not going to spoil it in case any one of you hasn't seen Star Wars Rebels, but there's a part where one major character dies, and the whole next episode is just them grieving in their
one of
own
the
way.
greatest episodes ever.
It is incredible, and they let you sit in that grief with each character and how they're dealing with it in a different way. And I feel the same way about this. It's like their knowledge, Gandalf is dead, and the way that like there's obviously this mysterious element of, do we trust Galadriel? Like, and then she's kind of creepy too, but then there's also like it kind of shows them all in these little, they got their little camp areas set up, and I just remember they're having conversations with each other, and it's like they're all dealing with this in their own.
Sam tries writing a song for Gandalf.
Yeah. And I just remember thinking when I was watching it, man, this all makes the Gandalf stuff hit so much harder. And I also feel even more than before. I feel for both Gimli and for Boromir. The stuff that she says to Gimli, like just like telepathically, there's stuff that she says to him. I'm trying to find that specific line.
He's like, she says, even now there is still hope, but I do not see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm talking about even Gimli. Like, there's a line that she says to Gimli, and I can't.
Oh, where she's saying,
"Do not let the great emptiness of Khazad-dûm." Oh, no, I guess that's to everybody.
No, she says that to Gimli.
Khazad-dûm, fill your heart, so, Gimli, son of Gloin. Yeah, for the world has grown full of peril, and in all lands, love is now mingled with grief. And then she looks directly. You see her eyes. It goes directly to Boromir.
Yeah.
Like right after that, and he starts to cry. And it's like, oh my gosh, dude, I just got chills. All this stuff is, I don't think, in the theatrical. And I'm like, maybe it is, maybe some of it is.
I think
maybe that
part is.
But man, there is just stuff in here that I'm like, it just makes everything that I already feel on a richer, deeper level. And I really, really, I think it's all essential. And I get from a pacing perspective why it's not there, but from a like emotional perspective, I really need this now. Like, I can't watch it without this anymore.
Mm-hmm. I think the Aragorn and Boromir conversation is the real, like, that's the probably the meatiest edition of it all. And it is such a humanizing moment for Boromir.
Yeah.
Like, because he's in his grief, he is warming to Aragorn. Like, especially after battling like man to man with Aragorn and Moria, like there's just a level of bonding that you experience through combat, I'm sure. But whenever he's asking, like, have you ever seen Minas Tirith? And he's like, yes, I've seen it. And just the way that conversation ends when he's like, someday our paths will take us there together, and the horn shall call, for the lords of Gondor have returned. Like, the lords, like he's getting to the point to where like he is seeing Aragorn in that new light, and his heart is not set on antagonism, like it's and to me that it's such a humanizing moment for him that shows like this guy, his heart is in the right place, man.
Yeah.
He's not the Judas of this group.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
This group doesn't have a Judas.
Exactly.
It does not have a Judas.
Yeah. Later on, it's Gollum.
Right. But yeah, I'm sorry. I feel kind of, I hate it too, because I remember feeling all of this watching it, and I'm like, now a month later, I'm like, I don't remember all of my specific thoughts I wish I would have watched it again, but I remember how I felt. And it just feels like it feels like sitting with them in their grief and seeing them process this stuff. And then having even like the extended, I've always loved when they're leaving Lothlorien.
Yes.
There's some really, really good stuff when they're leaving too, both serious and beautiful and also really funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
She gave me 3.
What?
I asked her for 1 hair from her golden head. She gave me 3.
For me, it's the sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead. I was going to say that line. So all of this section, the Lothlorien section in the book, is fan-freaking-tastic. And it's even more like there's more time spent there.
It's very different in the book, though. I feel like it's probably the most different because in the book, Lothlorien is like the most peaceful haven imaginable.
Yeah.
And it's very much an unsettling place in the movie.
Yeah. But I also understand the decision.
Yeah, it'd be weird to follow up Gandalf's death with immediate reprieve.
Yeah. And like just given the history of like Galadriel, like I just feel like it works so well for the film. But that line of dialogue and like specifically with Gimli, and it's like it's kind of funny, but it's so powerful. Like when you really like think about like what that represents, and it's like like spans generations of like a promise being fulfilled. And I don't know, there's just something about that really like a lot of people don't realize that like there's like so much importance behind that
beyond Gimli just having a crush on her.
Yeah. Given the history of like the dwarves and the elves, and Gimli being like, I can go back, bring these strands of hair to my fellow dwarves, and like this will be like a symbol for us. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's really good, dude. I love that.
But
yeah.
Also Pippin.
That's my favorite. It's like one bite. How much?
One bite can fill the stomach of a grown man.
He's like, how many bites did you have? Or how many pieces did you eat? 4. And his face too is just 4.
So freaking funny.
Oh, it kills me.
It's like, and again, it found that magical line of like, there's important stuff on either side of that scene, but to me, it just works because it's so like it's such a part of them, you know. It's so
it's in character. It's so very in character. Yes.
Yeah. And so it just again, it's not like it's not intrusive. Like it hasn't undermined any drama that's around it. It's just been a little character beat for these two people who are in over their heads.
Also, a random thing. Is it pronounced Celeborn or Celeborn?
Celeborn.
That's what I thought. I really like his presence.
He's got more. He's got more to do in the extended.
Yeah. And he's like a character that I think we only see in this film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like barely
unless
there.
He's standing with Galadriel at the Grey Havens. He probably is.
That might be but like this is probably the only film that we get dialogue with him in, and it's nothing much, but like there's just something about his presence in this that I really like.
You must take the boats to the falls of Rauros. I like the way he says that. Yeah.
So that was just a random thing that I wanted to shout out. I'm like, that guy's cool.
Yeah, because he also gives Aragorn the coolest dagger in the history of daggers.
Gosh, seriously.
Yeah. It's not fair that Aragorn gets the coolest dagger and the coolest sword.
I know. Like, It's not even fair. He's already cool without them.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And then Sam gets rope.
I love when he's like, you run out of them nice shiny daggers, and she just like smiles and walks on. Like,
Cool. It's so
also, the gift giving is in the extended as well, which again is just why I'm like, man, yeah, I can't. I gotta watch extended.
That's not in the theatrical, right?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah,
and it feels so necessary because the light of Arendelle comes back in Return of the King.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
like, wait, where did that happen?
we see it in Return of the King, and it's just flashback, right?
Yeah. And it's you hear the line, you don't even see it happen. You just see, I give to you the light of Arendelle.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
Yeah. Also, I like all the like creepy stuff with Galadriel and like her having the basically Gandalf magic, but like even scarier. And
yeah.
she looks like, do you remember it was like a meme, gosh, like maybe around like 2020 or a little before that, or maybe it was after, but there was like this meme trend that was going around, and it was like evil version of this, and you just put the negative filter.
Yeah.
And like that's what Galadriel looks like there. It's like evil Galadriel would be like
that part was so confusing to me as a kid. I had no idea what was happening.
I'm like,
yeah,
what?
I had no idea what was happening other than I'm scared.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
And then the well scene where Frodo gets the vision of like what's to come if like Mordor wins, and I really like the way that it splices in footage. I don't know if it's exact footage from the Two Towers, but there's like footage spliced in there of people like from Rohan.
Oh,
like,
I think it is. Yeah,
running away. Yeah. I don't know if it's like the same exact shot, but it's like from that same scene, or maybe it is the same one. But I really like just the way that it ties into the Two Towers and also Return of the King with some footage from there too.
Yeah, that whole scene creeped me out as a kid. And it like even after the creepiness, it continued that whole like that feeling of unease when she's like, to be a ring bearer is to be alone. Or just like it just continuing to just feel so like downtrodden.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized we didn't talk about before Gandalf died. He had the most beautiful speech ever.
Oh my gosh!
We did.
Yeah,
we just completely skipped by it.
The greatest line ever.
I wish the ring would have never come to me.
I wish that none of this had ever happened.
So do all. Like, I mean, that whole thing, and then I feel like this is kind of a continuation a little bit. But I that is some of the most beautiful. Like, that's life stuff. Like, that is something to carry with you through life.
Yeah,
there are so many. Like, it really like that conversation is you're right. That is one of the greatest conversations in the movie. Where like, I mean, from the beginning, whenever he's like, it's a pity Bilbo didn't kill him when he had the chance. It's like pity that stayed his blade, and the whole like, I mean, everything he starts talking about from then on. Many who deserve to die lived, and many who deserve to live died. Can you grant that to them? Do not be so eager to deal out death and judgment. Just like it's such a like you said, life stuff. Like just the way it puts life into perspective of like the pity of Bilbo will rule the fate of us all.
Yeah.
We don't be eager to deal out death and judgment. All you got to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you.
Yeah.
It just.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. Like it's just good. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. That's one of those things that. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I just now remember again. Like I think it's all just in that same conversation of whenever Gandalf is like, he's talking about this idea of like fate and meaning. When he's like, Bilbo was meant to find the ring, in which case you were meant to find it. And that is an encouraging thought. Like, just Gandalf's the best. I love Gandalf.
I know. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, that's one of the things, like those lines of dialogue, that's why I'm like, oh, Lord of the Rings is just the best, because there's so much to take away from it, like on a deeper level thematically, of just these life lessons that are basically being given of like, okay, well, this world is worth living in. There are good things to fight for. There's beauty to behold.
When the light shines, it'll shine out the clearer. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, and it never feels. It just feels so natural.
Yeah.
Never feels forced. And yeah, you've got
sappy.
all these. It's never sappy. It's just done in the most beautiful, perfect way.
Yeah.
Like I think that scene at the end of Two Towers, where like you feel like maybe it is on the verge, and then it's just the most earnest thing in the world. Like whenever he's like, "You've left out a chief character. What about Samwise the Brave?" It's just like Frodo wouldn't have gotten far without Sam, and he's like, don't poke fun. I'm trying to be serious. When Frodo just says, "So am I." Oh, my gosh, I love these people.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
They're the best. So before we get ready to leave Lothlorien, we do have a comment to read. So if you want your comments read, you can drop them below on the YouTube or Spotify feed, or also in our Facebook group, Banter Fodder, a film and television discussion group, which you can find in the link tree below. But yeah, so we have a comment from Gabe, who has definitely been in a comment before. You definitely hear his name on the show. And he said, "The Lord of the Rings trilogy defined my childhood. I spent many happy hours sword fighting orcs, tree and woods around our house. The Fellowship finale was a particular favorite to recreate. Aragorn taking on the Uruk-hai alone was the coolest thing any fictional hero has ever done, and I don't think it will ever be surpassed for me." We're about to talk about that, because it really is one of the greatest. So speaking of getting there, just before we get to that whole sequence, I gotta shout out Saruman creating the Uruk-hai. One of the coolest, one of the nastiest visual, like practical effects I've ever seen, of like digging through the mud and the weird goopy stuff, like
placenta, whatever.
Honestly, that's what it feels like. Ugh.
Yeah, it's vile.
The shot of him, like, standing up. Oh, it's so epic.
Yeah. And the white hand of Saruman getting placed on like their helmets and their faces and stuff. It's freaking cool. Yeah.
It's
So I
kind of hypes you up, honestly.
Yeah.
Just guys being dudes.
Exactly. Yep.
I will fight for you, sir. Wait. Oh crap.
Oh, that part is so. We will die.
Yeah.
I hate watching him cut himself.
Yeah. Before, obviously, so like them leaving Lothlorien, and then the next little section where they're on the river, we have to talk about like James, you said the name of it. I never remember the name of the giant
the
statue,
Argonath.
Argonath. Honestly, like the two of the coolest like images ever, it is the coolest image ever. Them just
The tiny boats.
the tiny boats going between these giant.
It looks like a painting.
It does. Yeah. It really does. And that is just it just gives the, I don't know. It's obviously this book is part of a world that there's a ton of lore there, and so it just shows you, even if you don't know the material, like I mean, I've read all three of the books at this point. It's been a while, but I've read them at this point. When I first saw them, this was a movie. I didn't know anything about these books before I saw them, before I saw the movies. And so like, even just as a first time viewer of this, I'm like, man, like there's so much more to this world than I even know. And just what a cool way and a simple way to capture that feeling, you know?
Yeah. And I love the moment it gives Aragorn where, like, you know, he's constantly like, you know, he's doubting his blood. He's, you know, running from the past in that way, but there's still this reverence he has for it. Like,
yeah,
like he's, you know, waking, like getting Frodo like, hey, look, you know, look at this. You know, long have I desired to see. I forget what the line is. And what's funny is, like, you know, it's Elendil that failed him, but Elendil is the young statue guy. Like it's Isildur. Isildur is the young guy there. Elendil is the older guy. But he's still, even despite that, he's still looking at it with this sense of like reverence and like, I don't know. There's still a lot of honor he shows to them, and I love that.
By the way, Elendil in Rings of Power, awesome.
Oh, I love
Elendil in Rings of Power.
Yeah. Also, Isildur is really freaking cool in Rings of Power too.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you shouted that out, because I was about to. It's just one of the coolest images to me. And James, for my birthday, got me the bookends of those statues, and it's freaking cool. So
you both have them now.
Yeah.
I just on that note of like just the teasing out of like histories, I really love that you feel that in this whole area. Like when Frodo is walking, he's walking by that like severed statue ahead that's just out there, and the place that the stairs that he climbs and has that vision of, and like you feel like this is already supposed to kind of be our past, since it's kind of being presented like our, you know, the mythology of England and all that. But then to be like, even for them, there was like ancient past.
That's one thing that I really love about Fellowship specifically, is how it really just shows you the history, the expansiveness of Middle Earth. In our last episode, I mentioned how like you basically get, you know, all of these like plot beats in The Hobbit, just like diegetically, you know, like through the film, you just see these images of like, oh, there's the trolls, there's a reference to that, and this and that. And the fact that like we get those statues and other things of like, oh, this is history that goes all the way back to like the Silmarillion, and Numenor, and like Aragorn being Dunedain and like all that stuff. Just really, really cool how they like visually give us that history. And for those who know, they know. For those who don't, they still get a feeling of like, oh, like, wow, this world
Yeah.
has been here for ages.
It's the trilogy has so much stuff like that. That's so cool. Like even with the giving of the gifts, like whenever Galadriel is like, the knives, these were from the Noldori. You're like, hey, the Noldori. Like I know that, but it's like, if you don't know it, it's a word that you can tell even it has meaning to it. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't, because Merry and Pippin probably don't know who they are,
Right.
but
Exactly. Yeah.
you feel that sense of like, if she feels like it's important enough to mention it, it is an honor to be given as hobbits gifts that came from them. You know, like,
Yeah. As we get to the forest, and the Uruk-hai are slowly making their way there, we get some fantastic stuff with Frodo and Boromir. And this is where, like, you know, I get why some people are like, all right, Boromir's the Judas of this group. But I think that leading up to this, we get enough of Boromir actually cares. And, you know, this is him at his worst, feeling the weight and the pull of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But like just the genuine fear that Frodo has in this moment where Boromir is like chasing after him, and then also seeing like like Boromir's self-awareness afterwards of like what he had just done, and you see like genuine like I can't even think of the word,
remorse.
remorse.
You know?
That's exactly, yeah.
I feel like even as a kid, before I was like old enough to really truly understand certain things, his reaction there always kept me, even as a kid, from hating him. Like whenever he's just like tears in his eyes, like, what have I done? No, like it's like that's immediately recognizable as like a man who has regretted something like deeply. Like, cut him some slack, people.
Like y'all said, I mean, he has shown so many times through this movie that yes, he has shown that he's susceptible to the ring, but he's also shown genuine care and genuine love for the Fellowship and for his people. And it's just there's just so much. It's very clear to me that again it's a character written so beautifully that is so easy to as a person, like as a man, like, no, of course I haven't done the exact thing he did, but like, of course, but like as a man, I have failed. I have failed the people that I love. I've failed my brothers. I've failed my wife. I have done things in my life that I deeply regret, and I think all of us have feelings of that. All of us have messed up in some way like that in our lives. And as a person, as a man too, just as a man with weight on our shoulders, there's something about him messing up and then the instant remorse and then the instant like no hesitation fighting off the Uruk-hai and defending the hobbits. And as each arrow goes in, like just the defend, he continues it, the honor, the loyalty that he shows even after his mistakes. It is so inspiring. It's gut wrenching, but it's also like, you can't help but like be proud in that moment. And you can't help but be so deeply moved by that moment, because I like in my worst moment, I don't know that I've felt that strength before. And it's just so like, man, that is awesome. Like I need to be like that, like just on a on a fundamental level, his character just hits a place in my heart that I honestly, there's not a whole lot of other characters that quite get to that point for me.
Also, the death of Boromir hits really hard too, because I think, just imagine how much stronger the Fellowship would have been if he could have remained, like if he survived, right? Like I feel like Gondor would be like at a like an even greater strength. He could have helped convince Rohan even more, like, you know, there and like, especially because he could like build the bridge of that gap between Gondor and Rohan, and how Theoden is like, nah, they're not gonna help us. But having like an heir to the throne, and yeah, Aragorn is the true heir to the throne, but in the current moment, Boromir being someone who like directly is an authority there, yeah, it hurts when it's like, oh man, like obviously like he cared and loved for all these people, but like also thinking about like just how much stronger the Fellowship would have been if he survived. And it also, like, we already like lost Gandalf, and now we're losing like one of their best warriors in the same film too. It's crazy.
Yeah, that idea of like them as heirs, you get that idea more and more, like that conversation that was brought up earlier, where like he refers to themselves as the Lord, or the two of them as the Lords of Gondor returning. Like,
Yeah,
he's warming up to the idea of Aragorn being like a fellow Gondorian, and this is maybe like the greatest death scene in all of film to me.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
And just the journey that Boromir goes on there, because whenever Aragorn first approaches him, Boromir thinks it's all been for nothing. He says, I have failed. They took the little ones. They have the ring. Like, I messed up. Everything's ruined. And he's just in shambles. And whenever I feel like that final moment of him truly seeing Aragorn as he is like whenever Aragorn says, no, I let him go. And he's just like, then you have done what I could not. And Aragorn just looking at this man, like, true, like dying in the most honorable way you could ever imagine. Like, I feel like changes Aragorn and like truly softens him towards everything that Boromir's been saying. And those final lines when he's just like, you know, I do not know what strength is in my blood, but I will not let the White City fail. And the hinge moment is when he says, nor our people fail. It's like the first time he has identified himself with Boromir as that people. Like, this is not your people. This is our people. Yeah. And the effect it has on Boromir when he's like, our people, our people. It's so good. And it brings Boromir to say, like, I would have followed you, my brother, my captain, my king, for him to have said, like,
ugh, I'm about to freaking cry, dude.
Me too.
Dude, it's just, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking moving. And I weirdly, like, the line that I think affects me the most, and I think it's just because I look at Aragorn as like the quintessential man, like just that is everything that's like honorable and good, and like everything that men should be. To see him be emotionally shaken up by something, like, affects me. So, like, whenever he looks up and he was like, they shall look for his coming from the White Towers, but he shall not return. And to just watch the tears go down his eyes when he says that, like, breaks me. It's so, like, to just see him, who's had so many arguments with him, like, weeping over his body is it's too much.
And hearing Boromir say, "My brother, my captain, and my king," acknowledging his kingship after saying Gondor needs no king earlier in the film. It's just like, I can't even describe honestly, that's where the dam breaks for me. Like I'm done. I'm an emotional mess. And then with Frodo and Sam later, it's forget about it. I'm done. Like I can't hold it anymore. But this point, this is seriously, you said it, James. It may be, I don't know. I'd have to really, really think about it. I don't know if there's a death that affects me more in film than this one. It's such a beautifully done, beautifully executed on every level. And not to mention, like, I think we'll come back to it, but leading up to it, some of the most awesome action. Period. Like, this movie doesn't get enough like love for the action it does have, because it does have a lot of walking and a lot of talking and a lot of magic stuff and a lot of the fantasy elements. But there is some serious action, and it's like some really good stunt work and all that leading up to it. But this all culminates with this hyper emotional ending. And I just think it's this final like 15 minutes or so that solidifies this as my favorite of the three. And again, they're all perfect. They're all there. But this one, the last 15 minutes is just like, just a little right there. It pushes it above the rest for me. Between Aragorn and Boromir's last little bit, and Frodo and Sam, and the music that accompanies all of it, I'm done. I'm a puddle.
We mentioned it on the last episode when we read comments, because I think Curry was the one who mentioned this battle with Aragorn specifically, and that shot where like Aragorn starts running towards like the edge of the ruins, and then you see like all the Uruk-hai like running down, and he starts running down to like chase at, and the way the camera like moves down and like just swooshes around, it is so freaking cool.
Well, the reveal too, just of the army itself, like whenever he like turns the corner walking and it pulls up, and they're just like, there's a whole army right there. So cool. And he does the cool thing with the sword that I feel like every kid in the world who saw that did. Like, before you go into a stick fight, you got to hold the blade in front of your face and then you swing it.
Yeah. That's freaking sick. And like just the action sequences themselves, like the choreography is unbelievable, because there's so many freaking Uruk-hai. And just the precision that like the actors had to have is unbelievable.
Peter Jackson.
Shout out to the stunt people here. They're like, I have it playing, as always. I have it playing while we're talking, and like just watching them with no sound, just watching what they're doing is really, really, it's so impressive. It looks real. It looks like there's no way that these are actors. Like, it's so cool. And then they're putting their bodies on the line for real with some of this stuff.
There's a great moment in the special features where Viggo Mortensen was talking about filming that scene, and he said it was actually really scary because they don't feel like stuntmen. They feel like Uruk-hai. It's like before they started filming, Peter Jackson's trying to hype him up, and he's like, "You do not fear men. You have no fear. You have no fear of death." And he's like, I'm thinking in my head, these guys are amped up. They don't need this talk. He's like, I don't want to film this scene anymore. Like,
Peter, I'm the one that needs the amping up.
Yeah.
And like also like just the little like things that like weren't meant to be there but just happened, and like Peter Jackson let it happen. I remember like recently there was an interview of the actor of Lurtz talking about the scene where he like licks the blade with his blood on it, and he was like, that was just something I wanted to do. And I brought the idea to Peter Jackson. He's like, let's do it. Throw molasses on on the blade. Let's go. And they did it. It's freaking awesome.
Also, Aragorn Viggo Mortensen actually deflected the blade when it was thrown at him. Like that was,
dude. That deflection is so sick.
Yeah, and that's the sound it makes. It's so cool. Something that I feel like Peter Jackson does so freaking well, and a lot of action movies, whether it's fantasy action or modern, just any kind of action, doesn't always get is knowing that like an action scene is more than just pulling back and showing massive armies like hit each other, but like memorable beats throughout, like just like things like Legolas like using his arrow, like stabbing somebody and then pulling back and shooting, you know, or like Lurch throwing the shield at Aragorn and like pinning him to the tree, or just like there's just so many things. Aragorn like grabbing the Uruk-hai and bashing his head to the wall, and that like just it's never just and then block, stab, block. Like it's full of so many cool like, this is coming up. Oh, that part's coming up. Oh, this is that part.
All while keeping it character focused too. It's like, yes, those moments are like real legit moments that you think of when you think of the battle, but you also think of that still only counts as one. Like you think of the stuff that's going on with the characters during it. Or like, you know, I keep going back to Helm's Deep because that's like iconic action sequence in this trilogy, but like the conversation between Aragorn and Theoden where Aragorn is like, right out with me. Like, just like, there's just so many like real good character beats in the action. And it's not just a big action sequence. It's like, you care more about what the action is because the characters are being focused on.
Yeah.
There's a reason you feel that, because again, to go to the special features, Peter Jackson said like he had a self-imposed rule where he's like, in an action scene, I can't go, I don't know what it is, but it's like, it can't go, it's either an amount of time or a certain amount of cuts or something. It's like, I can't go further than this without pulling back to a character. So like no battle from like, in his movies ever goes too long before he cuts back to a character.
That's it's intentional, right? He's just so I feel like just all of the people in charge of stuff in this movie are just so intentional with every single little second that they have. And you feel it. And what the result is masterpiece. So I love this movie.
Oh, I was going to say we can't wind down without
Frodo and Sam.
Yeah, Frodo and Sam.
Yeah. We can't.
Talk about like another scene that gets me emotional. Man, the loyalty in these characters.
First of all, like starting before Sam's loyalty, the loyalty of Merry and Pippin recognizing that he has to go. Well, at least Merry recognizing Pippin doesn't know what's going on.
But as soon as Pippin recognizes it, he's the first one who says, "Hey."
Yep. Yeah, he's in it. And they lay their lives on the line for Frodo, and because they're just looking for hobbits, right? They don't know which hobbits. So so what they do is great. And then obviously what happens next too. But it's all of the hobbits. They're all just the best.
Yeah.
And the track that plays when Frodo is there at the river with the ring in his hand and he's remembering his conversation with Gandalf, the breaking of the fellowship, that track is that will bring me to tears. Like whenever I press play on it, it's so, and Elijah Wood is so good. Like just expressing like this facial expression, never being too much. Like just the right amount of like letting his face do all the acting. And I love that like he hears his own lines, and then whenever he hears Gandalf say, "So do all," like just the look, like it feels like new courage is like, you know, surging whenever he remembers Gandalf's words to him. That like that's what gives him the strength to continue is remembering Gandalf saying like, the decision is still there. You know, the time is still in front of you. You didn't die. you still have to decide what to do. And like, that's when he puts the chain up, grabs the boat, and so good.
Also, guys, fun fact: did you guys know that Sean Astin cut his foot in the river?
And they actually show part of it in the special features, and it's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I always forget that. I don't remember that as much as I always think about
The broken
Vigo's
toe.
foot. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vigo's toe.
How do we not mention that earlier?
Yeah. But yeah, this part gets me too. And when he says, and I don't mean to, like it's so good.
Just that hug. Like whenever he says that, to the look on Frodo's face of like, holy crap, like what a friend I have in Sam. Like what, never had the occasion to truly know like the depth of friendship that and just like love that Sam has for him, and to see it there, that hug. And again, that's when that Hobbit music plays over that hug on the river. Oh my gosh.
And then when they cross and it shows them looking out what the rest of their trek is.
Yeah.
I don't suppose we'll see them again. We may yet, Frodo. We may. Like,
I'm glad you're
with me, Sam. Like, again, like this whole last 15 minutes, like I feel like every other line makes me like lose it.
Yeah.
The drum beat, when they start walking down, you hear the boom, 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 into the, oh my goodness, it's so good.
Yeah.
And into May It Be, which is like just one of so stunningly gorgeous.
Yeah. And James, the background that you have right now.
Oh yeah.
What a shot. A shot.
Yeah.
What a way to end.
Yeah. And then just like the promised threads of everything continued, because you also have Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli.
Oh, the fellowship has failed.
Yeah. Not if we hold true to each other. The pep talk he gives them. Yep. Oh,
let's hunt some orc.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And I love it, like, because you're not really thinking about it, but Aragorn being like, we are not about to abandon Merry and Pippin to torment and death. Like, that's not going to happen. Ugh. Man.
A good realization of Aragorn understanding, like, there's literally nothing. There's nothing that they can do for Frodo right now other than saving his friends.
Yeah. I just powerful. Like it feels like there's almost like a trust in fate there, where like Gandalf saying, like, these things were meant to happen, and that's an encouraging thought. And like that, Aragorn looks at them, and it's like he's okay to just, like he said to Boromir, like, I let him go, and he's just gonna trust that what Frodo needs to do will get done. And now Aragorn has to do something else. And,
are there any other things that you guys wanted to mention before we start wrapping things up?
The only thing we just kind of skipped over slightly, it was a musical thing I wanted to bring up, but like I love it's music and just editing in general, but like I love it's the transition from they're on the river. Well, they're on the river. It's the statue. We're talking about the statues, and then right after that, it's this realization that the Uruk-hai is coming. They're coming, and the music that starts playing is the Isengard theme. The dun 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 dun. All that is that music's going on while the camera movement, it's just like it goes all of a sudden we're starting to move really quick. So like it's like the big overhead shots of them, but the camera's moving super fast, intercutting with the Uruk-hai running in the woods, and then back to them, back to the Uruk-hai. And it's just like this like impending, okay, it's about to go down. And the way that they move us from that super majestic moment with those statues after that into this, okay, it's about to happen, it's about to go down, is
that
like,
first shot of the foot hitting the log.
That's yes, good call, thank you for that. Yeah, that's literally what starts it all, that foot hitting the log in the woods, and then we're off to the races. I just love I love the use of that dun 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 during all that too. It's so good.
Yeah. It's freaking awesome.
That was the only thing I was like, I wish I would have said something there, but we had started talking about Boromir already, and I was like, I ain't going back.
Well, that brings us to the end of the road for our Fellowship of the Ring review. And wow, it's been a long time coming to talk about these films, but I'm excited that we finally did it, and we did it at the perfect time for being the 25th anniversary. So I'm really glad how everything aligned with that. But before we finish things, we got to get the ratings. What? How many how many assless chaps do you guys give the Lord of the Rings?
5 out of 5, yo. Come on, there's no other option. I mean, what am I going to say after all this?
What about you? Is it a 5 for you too?
After careful consideration, I have landed on 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really close call between like 1.5 stars and 5 stars, but I leaned on the 5, and
yeah,
couldn't not have the 5 stars.
I'm afraid the star rating have been spoiled for this entire entire journey.
Yeah,
we keep going. This movie's perfect.
Yeah. No, obviously, with us gushing about it this much, how could we not? And obviously, not having any flaws or like real criticisms to give them, but just for the principle, I wanted to still give our official rating, just to be like, hey,
we got to do it.
But just know that it's probably going to be 5 stars for the next 2.
Spoiler alert.
Oops. But yeah, it was a genuine pleasure to chat about this. And if you enjoyed listening to this, be sure to follow us on your favorite platforms. Give us the 5-star rating. And let us know what you think about us going back to the recorded episodes instead of live streams. And if you do want to see live streams again, let us know what you want to see for that in the comments below. We're going to be covering The Two Towers next. And then after that, Return of the King. And then after that, I don't know. We'll see where we go from there, but it might be some more Middle Earth. We'll see. But really looking forward to going through the rest of this trilogy. I've said it before, but each time I watch one of these, I'm like, and talk about it. The Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite. But then I get to The Two Towers, I'm like, that's my favorite. And then I get to Return of the King, I'm like, that's my favorite. But for what Boromir is to you, Michael, that's what Theoden is to me.
I thought you were going to say Treebeard.
That is what Treebeard is to me.
Dude, I get it. I love Theoden as well, dude.
I'm so excited to talk about Rohan. I'm so excited to talk about Theoden. There's so many character moments coming up in The Two Towers that I'm gonna be gushing over. So I'm pumped to get to these next episodes. But until next time, go watch some movies on the big screen, support your local theaters, especially after these winter storms. They really need the support. So go buy some concessions and watch some movies. And hey, we were talking about Sam Raimi earlier. We got a new Sam Raimi out right now, and it's doing really well in terms of reviews. So definitely go watch Send Help. Get some Sam Raimi love in at the start of the year. And I don't really know what else is playing in on the big screen right now, but Oscar season is ramping up. So all those movies are going to be hitting the theaters again, at least at AMC. But we will see y'all next time for The Two Towers.